Hey, how's it going? I'm Cody. I'm the head of developer and product support at Fedi, and I built this tutorial for how to hook up a Bitcoin node to a LangChain agent and to use Bitcoin tools within LangChain. So this is part of the AI4ALL Hackathon. We're running it remotely. We're like using Repl as much as we can for it, and we'd love to if you can get involved. We posted a bunch of bounties too for if you want to use some of these tools as part of your hackathon submission. So those are all right down there. So you can click the link from there, or just check on the bounties page for Replit. And like you can work on doing a cooler hackathon project, but that's just some bounties to get you started off. So here's what we're going to do is we're going to spin up a voltage node. We're going to connect it to LangChain agents running in our REPL. And then we're going to have the LangChain agent be able to interact with the Bitcoin node. And so it can make payments. It can see what the status of the node is, like that sort of thing. And so once we're done, we'll be able to run these commands. We'll be able to do Python LLM BitcoinTools. So this is just taking a large language model and having it interact with the Bitcoin node via functions. And so if we look over here, we enter the new change. We're asking the LLM, what is my current channel balance in Satoshis? It starts the chain. It invokes what is channel balance. And so it hits against the Lightning node to check what the channel balance is, gets the answer, gives it back. And I ask, what's my current on-chain balance? Gets it back. What's my, do I have unconfirmed chains? Gets it back. Then it parses out an invoice as well. Then over here, it like parses the invoice out entirely. And then the other one that we're going to go through is how to do a agent and have it with access to the Bitcoin node so it can make payments, right? And so I think I haven't spun up outbound payments for this node, but like you can see that the agent is going to be hitting against the node and trying to do the payments. So that'll be Python LangChain L402 agent.py. Cool. So the first thing it does is it hits against the L402 error. And what that is so it hits against a paywalled API, and the paywalled API returns a Lightning invoice. Then after returning the Lightning invoice, it tries it again, having paid the invoice. And so this actually worked. And so it did get the response back from the thing. So the endpoint that was hitting was just a Lightning payment gated version of the OpenAI API, and it was hitting against v1/models. And so this is returning all of the different models that it has available, but it takes this and tries to directly dump it into the context. And that's why it's throwing this error right here, is because the model's maximum context length is 4,000. However, the messages resulted in 10,594 tokens, right? And so, but like the point is that the agent was able to like hit against it, pay the Bitcoin invoice, and then continue with what it was doing, right? So let's play around with this, right? So the first thing that you're going to have to do is you're going to have to spin up a Voltage Bitcoin node. And so anybody who joins in for the hackathon, if you're coming in from Replit, is you can go to Voltage, and when you sign up for an account and use the code associated with AI4ALL for the hackathon, then you can get $40 worth of credits so you can spin up some Bitcoin nodes, right? So we'll do that real fast. So the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to go to the hackathon page, and then you'd go here, you'd click register, and then you'd sign up. And so once you're registered, then when you go on your screen, then down at the bottom over here, it'll have like hacker perks for your partners, right? And so you can go to this one. So what we're going to do is the Voltage $40 credit. And so we go over here. You're going to have to sign in for sign up for a account. And then under billing, you can put in your coupon code, which is there, right? So you can do like AI4ALL submit. Yeah, so I already used this on this account, right? But there you go. Now you've got like $40, and so you can spin up a Bitcoin node. So I'm going to go back to the homepage, and I've got steps for this all through the tutorial, right? So if we go to the next page of the tutorial, this has steps for all of it, right? So register for the hackathon, click on the button, then we're going to redeem our credits, and then we're going to go to nodes. And so here in nodes, I'll click here, And then I've already got this one spun up and good to go, but you would click create new, lightning node, light node, then you'd hit create, right? And then once you hit create, it takes about 2 minutes, and then your infrastructure will look like this. You'll have like a lightning node running. So once you click on the node, then you'll have to unlock the node. So now it's unlocked. And so the first thing you'll be able to do is you'll be able to get inbound channels from Lightning, from Voltage. And so they'll open like 100,000 that channel for you to receive payments. And so then you can go over here, click connect. And then from here, I'll blank this out in the recording. Is that here from the connection strings, you're going to go to manual. And on manual, you're going to copy the API endpoint. You're going to download the macaroon, and you're going to download the TLS cert, which is lower down on the screen, right? And so once you have all those pieces, then you'll go back to your REPL. And from here, we're going to upload 2 files. We're going to upload the admin.macaroon file, and we're going to upload the TLS cert. And so basically that says, hey, how do I contact my node over the internet? And then how do I authenticate myself to the node over the internet? Right. So when I'm talking from the REPL to this Lightning node, how do we know that it's like actually me who's using it and I'm authorized to use it? Right? We use the macaroon and the TLS cert. And so what we're going to do is after we upload those, we're going to put them in the env_secrets folder. And when you put those there, just make sure that your REPL is on private, just because those are files and those are sensitive files. And so you don't want other people to be able to see those. So we're going to set those secrets, and then we're going to go into the secrets tool. And in the secrets tool, we're going to set the node API endpoint. And that'll just be like whatever the name of your node is, .m.voltage API. Sorry, voltage. It's either voltage API or voltage app. Yeah, voltage app.io. Right. So that's what it'll look like. So then cool. So then once you have all those things copied over, then the code's just going to run. Right. And so we've set up 2 super basic chains over here. And this is building off of the stuff that Lalu made for the actual GitHub repo for it. He made some Jupyter notebooks, but I got this working in a REPL. So here we're just going to import the L&D tools and the API tools that we need for running the chain. And so we're going to connect to the L&D node. And so the way we do that is we use the TLS certificate and the macaroon path. Sorry, the macaroon. And the macaroon is just a fancy cookie. It's just an authentication mechanism. And then the host is going to be the node API endpoint, and port is for when you use Voltage is 10,009. So then we take the L&D tools from BitcoinTools, and we're going to connect it to the node. Then we're going to spin up a LLM. So this is an OpenAI chatbot using ChatGPT 3.5. Then we create the Bitcoin agent, which has the L&D tools, the LLM, and we define the agent as being able to use the OpenAI functions, right? So then it just tries it out and it tries to hit against it with some different prompts, right? So let me just clear that out and we'll just run it again. Python LLM Bitcoin tools. Cool. And you can see that running on the side as we do that. Then the other script that we have here is for doing the agent. And so the agent, the only difference there is that we're going to be using an agent clearly for this one. And the chain is going to be this L402 API chain. And so an L402 is a way to gate access to an API using Lightning payments. And so anybody can hit against my API, but when they hit against it, it will return a 402 payment required error. And then once they hit that, so we'll see this in the next one, we can do that. I'll stop it halfway through. So clear that. Let me move this over the side again. I'll do Python. 402 agent, and I'll stop it after the 402. There we go. Cool. So here, so I hit against the API, which is a lightning gated version of the OpenAI API, and it responded with a 402 error code, which is an HTTP status code for payment required. It's like a 404 not found. This is a 402 payment required. And in the headers, I've got this authentication header that says, I'm using the Lightning 402 protocol. This is your authentication token, and this is your invoice. And so if you pay this invoice to complete the authentication token, then you can access this exact same API the way you were doing it previously. And so we can try that one more time. And so we hit against it, it gets the 402, it pays the invoice when the invoice is 1 Satoshi. And then it takes that and it passes into the language model. And it got a response which said, hey, what are all of the models that are available for hitting against this payment gated API? And then it passes that in, but it's going to have an error just because we're going to overflow the context window for it. Right. But, and I think I'm not going to be able to see that. Yeah. But that's basically how it works. Right. And so this is just like an out of the box working configuration of LangChain with BitcoinTools and LangChain with an L402 API chain for an agent. And so, yeah, so really hope that you guys participate in the hackathon. And if you guys want to just kind of do something small, then we made these bounties around using LangChain BitcoinTools in different ways, just like whatever sort of floats your boat. Like you come up with an interesting idea, like, you know, just snag the bounty for it and then go a little further with it and make a more of a project that you can submit for the hackathon. Yeah, so really hope you see what you guys build and submit with it. And let me know if there's anything else I can do to make this more useful for you guys. Thanks.